Hi everyone, welcome to this full tutorial on Argil. From scratch to finish, how to do a great avatar, how to do great videos. We're going to go over everything and you will find timestamps, different chapters of that video. So feel free to skip through it and go directly to the part that's interesting for you. So first of all, we're going to go over how to make great videos, how to make engaging videos. What if the voice is not good enough? What if you want to recreate a part of the video that has not the best lip sync for you? How to add images, everything. We're going to go over that right now. So when it comes to creating a video, the first step is to obviously to click on Start a New Video. Now, you will see this page might change from time to time as we add more and more templates. Right now we have the classic new video from scratch, where your input can be both audio and text. So that can be added, whether it is an audio file or just yourself recording on that window. Article to video is basically dropping a link in the article URL section, and then additional instruction is where you can type in, well, I want that video to be 200 words long. I want it to be with a funny tone, but at the same time, I want to be very familiar in the way I address the subject. So that you can do. And then video format is whether you want to have a longer video usually, and if it is vertical or horizontal. But basically, additional instructions can bypass most of the prompting that comes with classic or social media. I'm not going to go over next because the next steps are going to be the same as the start from scratch, right? So let's go start a new video from scratch. Here comes the choice of your avatar. So you're going to see your own ones first, like the personal ones. All of these are my avatars. And then you're going to go over the UGC avatars, the masterclass avatars, and the fictional characters are coming very soon. Those are avatars from the builder that you will be able to try. So let's go with like Iris, for instance. So you'll note that some avatars have many styles, some don't have any. Like for instance, the UGC style avatars don't have multiple camera angles, which is the case. When you click on Carry, for instance, you're going to see it says 2 camera here. And so every masterclass avatar usually has 2 cameras. That's also something you can do when you train your own avatar. So here, let's click on Iris and Iris Bedroom because I really like the vibe, the UGC vibe of that avatar. So as I said, on the top, you can pick between text and audio. Audio is when you want to upload your own file, and record audio, well, it speaks for itself. Now, when it comes to text, usually our clients already have write a text like a make automation that creates scripts for them. So that's where you come in and copy paste whatever you've written. So here on the right, dynamic and normal, it means, do I want to have small paragraphs or longer ones? And this is going to dictate how dynamic the video is going to be. How many cuts, how many zooms, how many B-rolls cover some parts. So most of the time I really like dynamic because it really gives that vibe and it's snappy, you know. So here you're going to select a few more options. The goal here is to maximize the attention you put on that specific moment to have the least amount of work when it comes to what's happening next in the studio. So video format, horizontal, vertical. Here we only have a vertical format available. When it comes to the voice, you can pick among many voices. I recommend that if you have like a specific language, for instance, German, you pick that and then you can select if it is a male or a female. And we have picked a few of the Elevenlabs voices that work best in that language. Once you've done that, and let's pick here a female in English, right, for the demo, pick Emma. And so next we can pick the expressivity. By default, it's set to none, and when you click on it, it's going to set to neutral, but that you can change. Now, the next option you have is expressivity. By default, it's turned to none, but if you want to have a specific tone, for instance, you want your avatar to sound more excited or doing like a news show, that's something you can do without having to pick another voice from Elevenlabs or your voice AI voice provider, and you can just keep the same voice, just give it different expressions. The speed is quite, well, you know what I mean by speed. Avoid going below 0.9 or 1.1. It's going to do a sort of glitch with the AI avatar, but we still allow you to try if you want to. Medias are the big next step. It's how many images or videos you want on your video to appear, and if you want those to be either Google images or AI images or stock videos, right? So all of these three are self-explanatory. I'm going to pick AI images because I changed the script compared to the steps you saw before, and I did a little story about Alice Wonderland. So we're going to pick something quite, I'd say, similar to that story style, and maybe we want something in that taste. I really like it. Fantasy seems like a good name for that style. Then you want to pick the frequency, right? And I really like picking high frequency B-rolls with dynamic splitting that you saw at the step before, because you're going to have many small paragraphs. It's going to do many cuts, and in each paragraph you'll have a higher chance to have an image. So that's something you want to have if you have in mind a dynamic video rendering. Now, auto captions is going to change very soon with way more options, but you can pick the font you like best. And in the next step, you'll be able to pick the size and where it is located on your screen. Finally, the music. You have about 50 choices to pick from. And zooms is whether you want some zooms in your video. You're probably going to see transitions very soon as well to make, again, all that rendering very dynamic. And so we're going to go to the next step, click on create. It's going to take about a minute. So I'll just click on pause and get you back on there. All right, we're good. We are on the studio now. That's where you're going to see the preview of your video, and you're going to see if you want to change a couple of things or if you're okay. As you can see, the face of the avatar is blurry. It means that it hasn't been generated yet. That will happen only if you click on generate on top. It will calculate the cost of that video. As you can see here, you pay a few for the video minutes and the audio minutes. We've paid a lot of B-rolls because we've put the maximum amount basically on that video. You pay some royalties because you picked an AI avatar that's not your clone or an avatar from the builder. So we have to compensate those actors who work with us. So now you're going to see a quick preview. I'm not going to play through all the video, but maybe the first 10 seconds so you can see how it renders.
Alice tumbled down the rabbit hole and landed softly on a bed of violet moss, her blue dress slightly dusted with moonlight. She rose and brushed off her skirts, only to find a curious key glinting beside a tiny locked door.
So as you can see, we are on a very storytelling vibe, which was, of course, a bit chosen because we took like a neutral expression, which is not going to be very dynamic and engaging. And the music choice, well, we could change that. We would want like maybe some dramatic tension, for instance. We can adjust the volume here, and let's pick and play it again from the scratch.
Alice tumbled down the rabbit hole and landed softly on a bed of violet moss, her blue dress slightly dusted with moonlight.
So as you can see, the music is way better now. We have something more tailored to the story. Now, is anything we wanted to change? We could. For instance, we see that there are maybe way too many images of Alice here, and we might want just to get rid of it. So we have the avatar popping up again. Maybe we want her to be zoomed out. Here it's like zoomed in. And let's see, maybe we want to have an image here. So you've got a few options when it comes to adding images. You'll see the three that you've been presented before, which are videos, AI images, and Google images. And the upload here is up to you. You can drop anything you want, even videos, that's possible as well. Now I'm gonna go over like very thoroughly in details on each and every one of the aspects of that studio, right? So when it comes to iris, again, you will pick in the different styles. You are able to change, by the way, one by one, the different plans with the different avatars. So you could have like all the different styles of your avatar in the same video. For instance, here I could pick Iris Kitchen. It's going to change the first plan here because she probably doesn't have the same voice. She has the voice Iris Kitchen, which is the original one and not the one we picked. So here, if I click on play on preview, you will see that it's loading. It simply means that it is generating that voice for that first paragraph, which is, you see not here, it's really meant to say not...
Alice tumbled down the rabbit hole.
Not generated. And you'll see there is a difference in the voice as well.
Alice tumbled down the rabbit hole and landed softly on a bed of violet moss.
So that's something you can do to play around with the voice, changing the expressions. I could put, I don't know, full narrative on here. And yeah, let's go to do that. And as you can see, it did something weird with the studio. No worries, it just, again, all those paragraphs haven't been generated with the full audio. So that's why it's loading, that's why it's taking some time.
And landed softly on a bed of violet moss, her blue dress slightly dusted with...
And so now there are a few things you can do as well when it comes to the text itself. You could add some exclamation marks, for instance, to create a bit more expressivity. It's not going to work that well for narrative, for instance, but it's still going to add some more pop. Another trick is to put this string here in your text if you want to add a pause, for instance. So here I'm going to pick 0.5 because 1 second is a bit exaggerating. And you can, again, play preview to regenerate that audio. And so that string here is something that Elevenlabs can hear. So yeah.
Her blue dress slightly dusted with moonlight. She rose and brushed off her...
So as you can hear, that changed it again. Now what we've done is basically changing that script a little bit too much. So we want to regenerate the captions, for instance, here. So you have to, once you've changed the text, click on that button to be able to, again, get all the new text that you've written. So that's like the last step that you can do at the end of the video. Now, let's say I had a different avatar that I picked. For instance, hang on, let me pick some of the public avatars, Jace, for instance. I can click on Jace here. And now the camera feature becomes useful because see, Jace has 2 different cameras. Some of our avatars even have 3. And so I could decide to start that Alice in the Wonderland story with that side camera. And something that's very interesting and very specific to Argil is body language. And that's also present on some of the avatars. Most of the UGC avatars don't have any specific body language. You will see that it's always generic. But Jace here, he has those gesture 1, 2, 3, 4, which means it's very generic. But he also has some other body languages, for instance, welcome, important. So you can see the preview on the picture here, link above, disappointed. And what we try to do is match as much as possible what's written in the text and what's written in the body language. So for instance, if you have a body language that says welcome, and in your video, the first sentence is, hi everyone, let's get started, you will have that gesture placed on that paragraph. And so that's something to keep in mind because it really breaks the ICA avatar side to make it more into the real world. And well, it's just mind-blowing. So to go a bit further to show you how it works, I'm going to click on face. I'm going to click on 69 because that avatar is originally made for 69. And I'm going to choose the welcome gesture here because that's the first sentence of the video. And now if I click on play,
Alice tumbled down the rabbit hole.
You will see the welcome gesture. So that's how it works. And that's something to keep in mind when you create your own avatar. More on that in the later part of the video. So let's go further. We've seen zooms, it's basically in or out. We've seen captions, I just didn't show you, but it's pretty straightforward. If you want it to be in the middle, large, small, let's keep it medium, and at the bottom. All right, so now you can pick a different background from the original video. So what you can do is click on backgrounds and go look for something that you like. For instance, maybe that library here. And that's going to achieve some result after a bit of loading when it's a bit too long as a video.
She rose.
So you see it's like a green screen behind. More or less realistic, it depends on the case, right? So let's get rid of that and go through the other things. So the music, again, you saw me maybe change the volume. That's something you can do. I recommend that you keep it as low as possible to not go over the tone of the person. And you saw that before as well. You can change the voice and the expressivity in that window as well. Specifically to B-rolls, you've got a few settings that come with them. Do you want them to be displayed at the back of your avatar? And you want them to occupy like half of that moment. So that's something possible as well. And so let's see how it looks at the back of the avatar again. And that's basically it.
Determined.
So that's something pretty cool to know, by the way, because I see many people missing that part, but that's something really cool. And finally, I'm just going to show you a few tricks when it comes to that paragraph on the left. As you can see here, sometimes you'll have problems generating your video. When you click on there, there is no message, but if you click on here, you'll see that there is a plan that's empty or longer than expected. So empty will look like this. Type or paste your transcript here. To get rid of this, you just have to click on there and press delete. That's something you can do. Let's say also that you wanted did remind to be in the same paragraph as this one above. So what you would do is get at the first letter, before the first letter of determined, and click on delete again to make it jump higher up. And then press on dot and you've got your sentence ready. Finally, if a paragraph is too long, and the maximum for now, and it's going to change, is 250 characters per paragraph, if it's too long, you won't be able to generate your video again. You'll have an error message. And what you have to do is simply delete the words that are above that limit. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the studio. Let's get started for everything else. All right, so while we are generating our video, and by the way, this is going to appear at the end of the video if you want to see the results that you can achieve, as well as a few other examples, right? We are giving examples at the end, as they won't be as high of a quality if I record them on my screen, right? So let's get back to home, and now let's go through the process of creating an avatar. So you've got two options here: creating AI avatars from yourself, from a friend, as long as you have their consent. More on this in a few seconds. And your AI influencer, which goes into a sort of game, like a video game builder, with many characteristics, backgrounds, that sort of stuff. So let's get started first on the create my avatar. Let's give it a name. So test create avatar. And you're going to see a few guidelines here when it comes to doing a great data set. It's very interesting to read because as always in AI, it's garbage in, garbage out. So if you drop us a 720p, highly pixelated, almost recorded in the dark, and with your hand passing through your mouth every single second, you're going to have a very bad result or no result at all, as we deny all the data sets that are never going to yield satisfying results for you. So here, we are saying 2 minutes. Truth is, it's between 2 to 5 minutes. It just won't increase the results quality-wise. If I click on continue here, don't move your arms or your head. Basically, the more still you are, the better the results, but you don't have to be very, very still. I encourage you to remain natural. Just avoid moving your head like out of the frame like I'm doing right now. Avoid doing sort of shaky movements too often. It's not only for the sake of the good lip sync, it's also for the sake of people watching you, as we don't modify the way you look like, the way you behave, the energy you have in the video. So for instance, if you have a very monotonous voice and a very monotonous self in the way you talk, that's going to reflect in the video as well. So if you want to be very dynamic and engaging, I encourage you to give the best when it comes to recording. So next, let's click on continue. That's again some guidelines regarding the quality of the video. The most important ones we learned were how well your face is lit. So just go in front of a window or just put a camera on and some lights in front of you just to be very visible and increase the overall quality. Because you can record with the best camera in 4K ever. If you are in the dark, it really won't lead satisfying results. Avoid background noises, as those will interfere a little bit with how your avatar sounds, because that audio part is sent to Elevenlabs, and we have instant voices with them for the moment. Let's continue. Body language is the most interesting part and maybe the most complex for many people. So quick summary about body language. Body language are gestures that you make that are very specific. You see, when you are doing a video about Alice in the Wonderland, you don't have anything that's related to pointing down like this or pointing up or that sort of stuff. So those gestures go in very specific contexts, and you don't want them to be occupying the majority of your video. So what I advise to people usually is to do a 2-minute data set. So the first 2 minutes are very generic or no body language at all. And then the next 2 minutes you do body language and you separate each and every one of them by 20 seconds. So for instance, hi everyone, I'm doing a gesture, and then I keep talking normally for 20 seconds, and then 20 seconds are now passed, and I can do another gesture, right? So you can do 3 gestures per minute, basically. And once you have that ready, I'll show you how to labelize. The last part I forgot to mention is the consent video. We basically have an automatic system and a human system verifying that it's the same person in the dataset and in the consent video. And you'll have to say a sentence that we give you. So we just verify that you are aware of what you are doing and it's not someone who stole your image, for instance. Now let's talk a few seconds about body language, because that's what breaks the ice. That's what makes it so different when you do a clone on Argil compared to another tool. So let's say you have done those different body languages, right? What you can do, and I'm going to pick an example of myself just to show you very quickly, is going to edit, then edit again, and then edit body language. That's where you're going to have all your different gestures from the original video. So you see here, I'm doing like the fed up gesture. And I look fed up, right? And so here I can just click on add gesture. You will see it will create a new untitled movement and I can call it whatever I want, right? So test, for instance. And that's where I'll be able to have that moment in the choices I have in body language on this avatar. So give them the right names. It doesn't need to be a sentence, right? 1 or 2 words is perfect. It will be enough to understand the intent behind this. Another thing that you can edit in your avatar once it's uploaded are the different styles, the different voices, and different names. So linked voices is the link you decide to pick and link to your avatar. So for instance, if you decide to connect your Elevenlabs account to Argil, you're going to pick some sort of voice from Elevenlabs, maybe your own pro voice, and you can just directly connect it to your avatar. So you can just do that to yield better results. Adding camera is going through the same process as a usual avatar. It's just that you have to go from the avatar that you already have created. And then different styles. So when you want to create a style for the same avatar, so I have for myself not done that, as you can see. You can click on the top right, and again, you'll have that same flow with the consent video to upload and the footage to upload. And so just to finish with that part, we've seen how camera works, how different styles work, how to edit the body language of your avatar. To finish with, I'm just going to show you how voices are connected from Elevenlabs to Argil, and it might be any other tool. So you go into my account here, and you can go into API keys and create API key here. The name doesn't matter. Once you have that created, and of course I'll delete it after the video, you can just copy paste it and put it in your tool, which is right there, Elevenlabs, connect to Elevenlabs, click import voices. And that's basically it. You've got all the voices from Elevenlabs that you have added before. All right, and now the last part we need to go over are the AI influencers that you can create from the builder. So you can find them here. You will need to have a pro plan more than likely. We can see at the bottom left, so of course I have a different account, but clone avatars are the credits for your own personal avatars, and the AI influencers are the credits for the builder. So usually you have more clone avatars than AI influencers. And yeah, you can just go ahead and click on create AI influencer from here. So this is the one I was trying to create. You will see that you have a few possibilities when it comes to different products you can have, the different way, the different lights, everything is under control. So very quickly, I'm going to go over those options. I'm going to put myself here. So the gender, the ethnicity, the age, the body corpulence, let's say we want something athletic here. The face, so the shape, do we want some tattoos, some piercing, that sort of stuff. The eyes, do we want to change the color? Let's say we want something blue here. The hair, let's say we want her to be a brunette. The product, that's where you drop your image. So for me, I really like maybe the perfume one. That's a great one. I think it works really well in many cases. The clothes, let's say we want something trendy. Yeah, that's great. Brand, that's where you want to add the brand name. So for instance, Argil. And we can add, and my favorite one is adding that name to a neon in the back. Of course, certain feature will work very well if they are in the right space. So if you are outside, the neon feature won't work because it's not making any sense for the AI behind that system. Accessories, we want her to have glasses, let's say, setup, something white from day. Maybe let's pick golden hour. And then the background, we want her to be in a cozy home studio. And let's generate preview. So this process usually takes about 2 minutes, so be patient. It's take way more time when you have your own product that's chosen. I'm going to go over the difference of the feature in that page. So you can find on the top right the documentation and a form to never click on except if you don't like the way your avatar looks like. So let's say you are stuck with the different facial features of someone. The only way you can get rid of those and have a completely different man or woman is by clicking on that reset form. But be very careful about it because it really resets every single field. So if you had something that's half satisfying, you're going to lose it all. All right. And here's the result. So as you can see, like the product is like perfectly the same. It's always mind-blowing to me. We've released this feature as I'm recording today. We've got the Argil neon sign at the back. We've got that cozy setup that we were looking for. And I think I set up golden hour. So you can see even if she's inside, she still has that very warm light that's coming on. So I really like the result. And I think I can just click on create my avatar, call her test. Yeah, basically that's it. I click on next. I'm asked to confirm if I really like it because once it's done, it's really burning the credit for the training. So be very mindful about this. And yes, let's do it. And that's pretty much it. You've got your AI influencer ready. Usually those take around 24 to 48 hours and the normal AI clones take between 12 to 24 hours. My career starts here, amazing. So I hope you liked that tutorial. If ever you need any sort of support, you have the contact support at the bottom left, which gives you access to the right documentation at the right time, or even at the email of the support if you don't find what you want. You can also join our Discord to get quicker access to, to us, to me, to the team. And you can also, by the way, if you are interested in becoming an affiliate for us, you get 30% commission for every customer that you bring on Argil. So you can maybe be interested in that. I'll let you check what we have. I hope that was a clear enough tutorial for everybody. And don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Alice tumbled down the rabbit hole and landed softly on a bed of violet moss, her blue dress slightly dusted with moonlight. She rose and brushed off her skirts, only to find a curious key glinting and squeezed through the door into a garden where roses bloomed upside down. A Cheshire cat appeared on a twisted branch, grinning broadly as it whispered directions to the Mad Hatter's tea party. Alice followed the cat's fading smile until she reached a long table set with mismatched teacups and ticking pocket watches. The Mad Hatter tipped his hat and invited her to join, pouring tea that changed flavour with every sip. Strawberry, cinnamon, and then stardust. Suddenly, the Queen of Hearts stormed in, demanding everyone play croquet with flamingo mallets and hedgehog balls. Alice ducked the Queen's furious decree of off with their heads and gently persuaded the hedgehogs to roll under the table. As the sun set in swirling colours, Alice found herself back by the tiny door. With a final look at the wonderland behind her, she stepped through and awoke beneath her own apple tree, the memory of magic lingering like a sweet daydream.